Hi, how's it going? Welcome back to another XRP update. Now, I've fresh in the chart, we're starting off on the weekly time frame and going back a few years to this $3.30 previous all-time high. Now, I'm going to place a fib marking out that top and bear market bottom and some very key levels, of course, being the previous all-time high, but $1.60 and $2.25. Look at how well that 786, $1.60 was respected earlier this year. In fact, it was the exact bottom for XRP. So it just shows you that these Fibonacci's are not random and the targets that it's given can't be ignored. But also don't assume that they're going to happen overnight. So we have these future targets, but guys, we might only be given $8. And just to let you know, I don't hold any XRP. I only hold Bitcoin. So just to show you some key levels, you can see previously the 786 acted as the previous cycle, the 2021 top hit, and it acted as the bottom hit in 2025, 4 years on. So I can actually place another fib in this region, marking out the last cycle's bear market. And once again, look at where that bottom was on the 886 this time, showing you how accurate the Fibonacci's are. So what I can do, show you for the previous cycle's Fibonacci, create an area between the 786 and 886 and pretty much explain that while this remained support, and early in 2025, back in April, it was maintaining support, a new all-time high formed off of that pivot point. So the expectation is while that is remaining support, 130 to 157, that $3.30 will be a target. And of course, we met that earlier. But $4.30, $4.80, and $6.30 will also be upcoming projections for XRP. In fact, there are higher price targets because my fibs don't end at the 1618, they go up until the 244. If you want to learn the Fibonacci's in more depth, how to place them and what to expect, you will be given a bias and to stick to that bias unless certain things happen. So if you want to learn that, check out my ebook or book in a one-to-one video call with myself. Links in the description down below. Otherwise, let's continue. So my expectation would be in the following pump, as long as these key levels maintain, $4.30, $4.80, and $6.30, maybe as high as $8. Now, I wouldn't be expecting any higher because this is the very next important Fibonacci that stems back from the 2017, 2018 top and the 2020 bottom. So that will be the next top, just similarly to like what you're seeing over here as well. So this previous area that I drew was going back to the past cycles 786 and 886, but it's in actual fact, looking at this, the cycle beforehand, I have to mark out these two key levels, and that $8 should actually happen as long as this holds. So we've just got some extra confluence pretty much. We had an overlap earlier between these two levels. So this is one golden pocket, that is the next. So just marking out two previous bear markets, and for the bull market targets, they need to be flipped into support. So when we're running up into them, could be resistance, right? Could get rejected here. But you can see XRP pump through both sets of the 786 here and 786 here, flip them into support, created a new all-time high, and is just setting up to continue to its next set of targets. That's $4. And let me just make that more accurate, just like that. So $4.30, $4.80, and $6.30, that is. So if we were to zoom in on the lower time frames now, on the daily, each bar representing a day, move this across. So we're trapped between these 2 points, as you can see. Down over here with this loss of support, the loss of this key area, 196, it was a fake out in the end, and that's represented by the recovery and confirmation of that same line as support once again. This is a bullish formation, inverse head and shoulders, and it of course signifies a bullish breakout to the upside, and that's how we got the new all-time high. But once again, once we put down that new all-time high in, came back underneath that level, exactly that 1272. So I cannot ever ignore these lines. So that's why that $8, I'm not really going to be expecting beyond that point, but that there could be dips even before that from any of these levels. So we'll get into more detail about where the next rejection point could be. But quickly, this would be your neckline of the bullish pattern. The target takes it just slightly under that 1414, but we can get more specific by looking at the most recent dip, which we find ourselves in currently still in that range between $3.42 and $1.61. We can see the 786 and 886 here. So it's all about turning that area into support, and we've struggled with holding that 786 as support, but there is nothing to fear because the neckline of the pattern is what matters the most. We were previously looking at just the Fibonacci strategy, but it's more than just that. So we're also looking at chart patterns, and there's validation and invalidation points. It will give you a bias. So while this remains support, this $2.57 location, it is currently support because price is $2.82. So while this remains support, can even make a box just like this. As long as that is support, we will eventually break to the upside and hit those expected targets, with the new fib actually projecting $4.20 to $5.45 in alignment with our other sets of fibs. And of course, the new fib also is in alignment with that $8 target. You got one here at $7.20, $8.90, and $10, just sub $10. So that is it from me today. Like, subscribe, comment, and share now if you want to learn this strategy. Book in a one-to-one call with myself, links in description, or join my Discord community, or get my ebook.